y'all, it's Bridget. I am the museum stitcher here on Flosstube and also over on Instagram. Thank you for stopping by my channel today. This is my channel where I primarily talk about cross stitch, but I also talk about some of the other crafts that I do. Today I've got some knitting to share and some sewing finishes to share as well. It's been a very productive stitchy 2 weeks and I've got quite a bit on the roster, including some like celebration starts for one of my Flosstube friends' birthdays. But as far as like personal life is concerned, I'll do a little bit of a quick life update and then we'll move into all of the crafty things. So in the last couple of weeks we had an exhibit open at work, so that was really fun. It wasn't as much work as a normal exhibit. It was like a smaller photography exhibit, so pretty easy, pretty standard, fun little gallery opening. So yeah, that happened. I went to a doormat painting class. I'll see if I can insert a picture here of the finished mat, but it was a Hocus Pocus doormat themed class at a local boutique to me that the owner is fantastic. I love her so much. Got my sweatshirt from her actually. And yeah, that was super fun. So painted a doormat with my mom and basically like my non-blood related sister. She's a family friend who's been hanging around since forever, and so that was really fun. And I went live on Instagram with the Seattle Stitcher and Alexis My Amazing World, and Kansas City Girl in a Colorado World Julie also joined us, and that was a really fun 3 hour long live. I don't think any of us expected it to last that long. Fergus would like to make a quick stop and say hello. Say hello to your public. He's kind of hanging around over here today, so he might hop on again later. Okay, so that's it life update wise. I don't do a lot besides work and stitch, so you know, that's what I do. So I've done sewing, I've done cross stitch, I've done knitting. That's primarily been my last couple of weeks. But as far as finishes and FFOs go, I have quite a few to share. I finished and FFO'd this item since I last saw you guys, and I don't think anyone's going to be surprised by it. But this is all of these books, or just all these books, by Forbidden Fiber Company. I want to say I really do finished when I had my last video, so I finished the rest of the font, and I finished stitching this on August 15th. So that would have been, I think, that Monday after I filmed my last video, and I started it on July 22nd. So a pretty short-term project, and then I FFO'd it this past Saturday, or Friday. Today is Sunday, August something in the 20s. Anyway, so I finished it into this little pillow. It's really cute, and I used some Lady Dot chenille on the back, or Lady Dot velveteen on the back with some chenille trim in the color Berry Crush, and I think it matches my little thread conversion perfectly. So this is a custom thread conversion that I did to the Evertotes Leo and Roxy floss pack. For the month of March, it was their neutrals pack, and I just used them and pulled them into this little kit that I had from the Forbidden Fiber Company, but I used the aida from the kit. So this is an 18 count Parchment aida by Forbidden Fiber Company, and I did pretty good on this one. It's my first time working with chenille and on trim wise, and I liked it. I really padded out this pillow a lot. It's very sturdy. The one area that I kind of missed was the bottom corners, so that's a little flat, but you know, there's not much I can do to change that now. I noticed it too late. But other than that, I think it turned out really good. I definitely have some more pillow finishes planned in the future. And if you're interested in my Leo and Roxy conversion, feel free to message me on Instagram or email me at the email listed down below, and I'll be happy to share that with you. And it's just a little long to type out each thread that I swapped. But yeah, super fun pattern. This is available now on the Forbidden Fiber Company website, so you're free to download it and stitch it yourself if you are so inclined. Okay, so that was my only FFO, well, finish and FFO. But I also had a SAF, or a start and finish. So for those of you who don't know, It was my friend Alexis at Alexis My Amazing World's 34th birthday this last week. And so she asked everyone who was willing to participate to start 4 new things for her 34th birthday. I believe the hashtag was 4 for 34 B-Day, Sal. And I participated. I haven't shared any of mine on Instagram yet, so I need to do some pictures. But my 4th and final start for the 4 birthday starts ended up being a finish as well. It was a 1-day start and finish. And this is Buckaroo'd by FrizzyLizzieStiches. So those of you on Flosstube might recognize the name. Elizabeth at FrizzyLizzieStiches actually designed this little piece and finished it into a little pillow. And I messaged her and asked if she would mind sharing the pattern with me because I am also a big Yellowstone fan. So it reads, "Damn, you got Buckaroo'd right onto your peanut." And I love it. It's a scene from Yellowstone where Walker is talking to Beth after she gets bucked off a horse. And it was too cute to not stitch. So I'm going to be pillow finishing this once I get the right backing fabric. But thank you, Elizabeth, for sharing the pattern. It was so much fun. It really wasn't like, I didn't really rush to finish this in one day. It just kind of happened that way. But I decided to stitch mine on a 28 count doubloon lugana by Picture This Plus, just something I had in stash. And the red is Gentle Arts Buckeye Scarlet. So you can see up close, it's got some really, really lovely variegation. And I'm obsessed. I definitely, the rest of the scene, explicit language ahead, the rest of the scene, Beth turns around to him and says, "Can you repeat that in English? I don't speak dipshit." And I would love to, I'm actually working on making that into like a little matching pillow so I can have like a little set of the full scene. Anyway, really cool fabric, really cool little finish, and it's going to be a little pillow. I've already ironed it and interfaced it. So yeah, super, super happy with how that turned out. And thank you to FrizzyLizzieStiches. It feels really good to have the 4 birthday starts have 1 finished. So I only added 3 to my total whip number this week, but yeah, there is that. Okay, so that is it for, oh no, I did finish one more thing, but it's a sewing finish, but I'm going to share it here anyway. So I finished a really cool bag. So this is the Kandou Crafts Kato Drawstring Project Bag. And this is the large version. The pattern comes in 3 sizes, and I did the biggest one, and it has this cord channel with these nice leather cording I got that you can cinch it closed, and it has a vinyl strap. So you can make this out of any material. I made mine out of scraps just because it was my first time making the bag. But this is a vinyl that I got at Joann's. I think in the future I'll use a better quality vinyl for the bottom, but it kind of makes it nice and sturdy and waterproof. I used just quilt cotton for the exterior and the cord channels. And then on the interior, I actually used a waterproof canvas material. And it's got like a whole bunch of slip pockets on the inside, really nice grab handle. And the bag was super easy to make. I think it only took me a few hours, including cutting and everything. And that was, you know, first time using the pattern. So I'll definitely be making some more of these in some various sizes. My friend, the Seattle Stitcher, sent me some really cool suffragette themed fabric, and I think I'm going to make a suffragette themed knitting bag with like a nice purple and gold interior, and I might get some purple vinyl to go on the bottom, or purple cork. But yeah, it was a great go around for the first time making this bag. It's super beginner friendly, and Ochreleiph, the YouTube channel, has made a video that explains every step of this, so it's even more beginner friendly. There's no zippers, there's no vinyl. Obviously you could do this with just quilt cotton and a heavier interfacing, and you would be totally set instead of having to use like a nicer vinyl. I just wanted to see what sewing with vinyl was like, because I've only ever used like clear vinyl for project keepers and stuff, and this is more like bag making vinyl. But yeah, not too bad. I only made one mistake, and it was that when I top stitched the cord channel and the exterior fabric and the lining after I finished turning the bag, I top stitched the handle flipped upwards, and I was meant to top stitch it flipped downwards so that the handle always stayed down, but not a big deal. I also wouldn't recommend using this like waterproof fleece material. It got really, really thick and my sewing machine had a bit of a problem with it until I flipped to like a heavy duty 9014 Microtex needle, and then we did better. But I don't know that it necessarily needed it. I just had it in my stash and was just trying to kind of stash bust to make this bag, because I had this cowl that didn't really have a knitting bag and I wanted to try this. So I'll definitely be making more. And that was my last finish. Okay, so starts wise, I did mention my friend Alexis had the birthday, so I started 4 things for her 34th birthday, and I'm gonna walk you through what the rest of them were because we already talked about the 4th one. So first up, this one is the Scissor Sampler by Tellin Emblem. I started this on August 20th, and I am stitching mine on a 28 count. Oops, sorry, had a thread stuck in my zipper. 32 count Tycho linen by Picture This Plus with all of the called for Weeks Dye Works and DMC. And here's where I got to. So my strategy for these 4 new starts in a week was to do 2 days on each one. And as you can see by Buckaroo'd, I didn't spend 2 days on that, but I did spend 2 days on this, and this is where I hit. Because I did start it on a weekend, it did get more stitching done than any of the rest of them because, you know, weekend days for me have more stitching. So it's absolutely lovely. I forgot how weird it is to stitch on 32 count after stitching on so much 40 and 46. But it was fun, and the loop method is really nice on DMC. But yeah, 2 days on that one. Got the birds done, the entire top border, and everything. This needle minder was a gift from Alexis, so I figured it was good to use on her birthday thing. And I have all of my DMC and threads on my Adam Hart cross stitch clear thread hearts, which I love. So it took a while to get all these flosses prepped and ready to go. But once it did, here's what it's gonna look like when it's all done. Elizabeth Ann can stitched this, and I've been wanting to stitch it ever since I saw her finish of it. So I am really, really pumped to have this now in my whip pile. And I think Alexis is gonna be starting it soon. I was originally supposed to wait for her to start it, but when it came to birthday starts, this one was linked to Alexis in my mind, and I got it done. Fergus, really? This cat, y'all. Okay, so that was start number 1 of 4. My next start was Olivia Ochreleiph by Silver Creek Samplers. I don't know what this cat's trying to do, y'all. I don't think he does either. And I am stitching mine on a 32 count linen again. So strange. It is Vellum by Picture This Plus. Sorry, this cat is really messing me up. I don't know if he's gonna fall or not. Fergus, really? Excuse me. Can you please? Anyway, I'm stitching it on 32 count Vellum linen by Picture This Plus with all of the called for Weeks Dye Works, because there is no other thread options. And there's 1 Gentle Arts as well. Okay, here are all the call for flosses. Super fun. Also on Adam Hart thread hearts because I'm obsessed with them. And my 2-day start on this one got me here. So got this first little branch done and started in on the words. And this needle minder is an Outlander themed needle minder from Mad for Minders. But this linen is really, really pretty. I wanted to do this off of linen I had in stash. I didn't have the called for. I think it's an R&R, like, or a Lakeside linens, one of the two. And those are both really hard to find right now. So, yeah. Got a good start on the quote. And I don't think this one will be too difficult to get some more FaceTime in on. I kind of wanted to start more autumn themed things. As you can see by my outfit, it is like 90 something degrees outside in Texas right now, but I'm trying to summon fall through the way I'm dressing. So a little sweaty, but it's fine. It's a cute outfit, right? Okay, so that was start number 2, Olivia Ochreleiph by Silver Creek Samplers. Start number 3, and my last one, since you guys have already seen my 4th one, is a stitch along that I'm doing. I jumped on the bandwagon after I saw this on Mountain Laurel Stitches, Flosstube. This is Autumn Alphabet by Willow Hill Samplings. And I am stitching mine exactly as called for. So 40 count murky linen with all the called for Gentle Arts. And here's where I got to on 2 days of this one. So Laurel at Mountain Laurel Stitches also has the same needle minder, so I pulled it to go on this project. And after 2 days, I'm halfway through, aside from this moon. So the hashtag that we'll be using for this one is hashtag Blue Pumpkin Sal, because on the cover image, it looks like this little stack of pumpkins here are in shades of blue. But when I got in the called for, and Laurel has said this on her Flosstube as well, it's not like a new revelation or anything, but these are the called fors, and to me, that's straight up green. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to run up to my LNS, and I purchased this one because Laurel purchased this for hers, which is Gentle Arts Tropical Ocean, and I'm going to kind of use this as my darkest pumpkin color, and then find 2 more gradient upwards to use in this instead to make the pumpkins a little bit more blue. And so this moon is the called for on the lightest pumpkin, so I waited to stitch that. But other than that, halfway done. So I'm through Q on the alphabet, and then I just have to do the pumpkins and the cat and the rest of the border. But it was really nice. I just did like a length on the border, a length on the alphabet, and worked out really good. So for only 2 days and to be halfway done, I think I could get this done in another week if I tried. But I do have to find time to go to my LNS since they're only open like from 10 to 4 and I work 9 to 5. So it makes it really difficult for me to stop by. So I'll have to make that work. But those were all of my new starts for the week. Nothing I wasn't already planning on starting in the future anyway. I just kind of moved up my timeline to celebrate Alexis. So happy birthday, Alexis. It was a lot of fun starting a lot of new things, and it made my week really interesting to have like that set rotation. It was super fun. So outside of that, I only worked on 1 whip these last 2 weeks, and it was the week before all of Alexis's birthday starts. And that is The Fox by Cottage Garden Samplings. And I pulled this out after I finished all these books to see if I could get some FaceTime on it, and I did. I only worked on this for like 1 day though, so not a whole lot of work. But anyway, this is on a 40 count Morning Mist linen by Forbidden Fiber Company, and I'm using all of the called for DMC and Gentle Arts. And since you've seen this, I didn't have any of the actual fox done. I had the cabin and these trees finished. So I got the fox's face sketched out. So I really need to devote some more time to this one and actually get this little fox done because I think he's so freaking cute. And so I need to do that. I've got him in this really cute little fox project bag, and he just needs some more love. But it's nice to see his face now. I think he needs a name. How Fergus. So that was the only other cross stitch project that I worked on in the last 2 weeks. But I do have a little bit of haul, a couple of knitting things I worked on, and some plans, and like 1 book. So that's the rest of this. So haul wise, Expo, Needlework Expo is this weekend, and I get my auto ship of the Year in the Woods series from Top Knot Stitcher. Now, most of you guys might know I'm doing a no-buy for the month of August with the Seattle Stitcher and Alexis My Amazing World, and while we've broken it for our Expo pre-orders, I still get all of my monthly clubs and things like that, and stuff that I've ordered in the past that I was waiting to come in. And so one of my clubs is the auto ship of the Year in the Woods that I get from Top Knot Stitcher Shop. This is the woodpecker, so freaking cute. They just showed the next one too, which is a little brown bat, also fun. But this woodpecker is going on my Q-snap directly after I finish the fox. Like, no joke. He's so freaking fun. Isn't he, Fergus? Can you say hi? Fergus only has one eye, if you're curious. He's not blinking. But anyway, Abby, the proprietor of the Top Knot Stitcher Shop, was kind enough to go ahead and send me my thread pack for the Autumn Garden Style. If you're not familiar with this, it's a giant collaboration between a whole bunch of designers where they design using these 4 colors. And the design has to be below 60 stitches square. Okay, you can't sit on my iPad. I'm sorry. So they're kind of constrained into this, but Top Knot Stitcher is doing all of the thread packs for the stitch along. And these colors are stunning. She went ahead and sent mine to me so I could tell you guys a little bit about it. So you can have your LNS contact Abby to get the thread packs or any of the Autumn Garden patterns. Or you can just buy them directly from Abby. So I wanted to go ahead and mention that to you guys. I talk about Top Knot Stitcher all the time. Abby is thebomb.com, and I cannot wait to get my patterns that I've already pre-ordered so I can start stitching these. And I also need to get some fabric that goes with these threads, but they're super fun. I've never used the cottage garden threads before, so I'm really, really interested in trying them. But Abby was kind enough to send this cute little card that she's hole punched for your extras, because I believe these packages also function as thread drops. And so she included this for like your little one-off bits and bobs as you're stitching. So super fun. I'm super excited about the Autumn Garden stitch along. I've already eyed, like, I think I've purchased 3 of the patterns in my pre-order so far, but there's been like 2 more that I really, really want to get. But they're super fun and autumn themed, and those colors are fantastic. So that was that. As far as Expo pre-order goes, I think I'm going to wait to share that with you guys a little bit later when those patterns come in. But I can go ahead and tell you that my top 2 Expo releases of all time. Now, I've only been stitching for like a year, so this is my first Expo that I've known what Expo is. So Liz Matthews released Autumn Cloche and Poppy, and I immediately, this is what broke my no buy, were these 2 patterns. I'm obsessed with poppies. They're the flower of remembrance. They are the prominent flower that celebrates the First World War, which was a period of history that I studied a lot in school. That's always kind of piqued my interest. And yeah, I love the significance of poppies. I was studying abroad in the fall of 2017. And if you've ever been in Europe in the fall, poppies are everywhere. And yeah, it has a lot of meaning for me. So I'll definitely be stitching that poppy. And then Autumn Cloche dropped, and Kansas City Girl in a Colorado World, the Seattle Stitcher, and Alexis My Amazing World and I are going to be selling that as soon as we get it. And I'm super, super pumped for that. So those are like my top 2 expos, but I've also pre-ordered a few other things. The Primitive Hairs Practical Magic situation, love that. The margaritas, come on. Okay, and then as far as haul goes, I have 2 other things. I pre-ordered some custom bags from Jasmine Custom Bags because everyone talks about her and I needed some. And so I went on and picked out some fabrics, and I ordered these back in July, and they came in. So here's the first bag. I got 2 bags. So this is a fabric I picked out myself. It is these, again, poppies. Gorgeous, gorgeous poppies. I love that her bags have this awesome zipper. The quality is amazing. And I'm obsessed with the way that these came out. They're big enough to hold an 11 by 11 Q-snap. And anything else you might need. And she throws on these awesome little labels so you can write what project is in here, which is really cool. But yeah, so that was the first bag, and then I figured I'd go ahead and get a second bag to make the shipping from Canada just a little bit nicer. And this is my second one. Of course, reading and tea, and this awesome orange vinyl. And the back is just that same exterior fabric. And then for this one, these zipper pulls, I need to ask her where she gets these because I'm obsessed with these like giant rings. And the inside of this one is green. And I immediately moved my Miss Bingley's library in here. I did do 2 rows on the roof fill-in on this during my live with Alexis and Julie and Megan. But I didn't want to share the whole project just for 2 rows of fill-in. So yeah. super, super fun. If you guys have not checked these out yet, or you're interested in getting a custom project bag done by her, her design is really, really unique, and I cannot recommend her highly enough. She was amazing to work with, and you can tell she really cares about what she does, and that's all you can ask for. She does a whole lot of different other bags too, not just project bags. So if you're interested in a custom bag, go check her out. Okay, so that's everything haul-wise. So I have 2 knitting projects to talk about. I'll talk about my cross-stitch plans and 1 book. So if you are not interested in the knitting, I totally get it. You can feel free to skip through this section, or I will see you in my next video. So thank you for watching. But knitting-wise, I worked on 2 projects. So again, my awesome bag now houses this cowl. This is the Cadence Color Block Cowl, the knit version. She also has a crochet version by All About Ami. And I've linked my Ravelry page down below as well. I've started doing that. So if you're interested in seeing what I knit or crochet, that's there as well. So this cowl is kind of hard to show because it's a extremely long rectangle. I'm doing this as called for, which is Lion Brand Woolies yarn in 3 colors. It's this really gorgeous heathered gray, this cream, and then a heathered rose. I'm not sure the exact names. I do know the white is Fisherman, but the other 2 I'm not sure of. So since I've showed this to you last, I finished out this white section, which is the second to last white section, and I'm about halfway through the final gray section. There will be 1 more white section, and this will be finished. So realistically, this could be a finish for this winter fall season, and then when you're done, you just take the 2 ends and seam them together, and it makes this really awesome cowl that wraps around and sits like this. But super easy. It's all in garter stitch, and I believe that you can find the pattern for free on her website, or you can pay like a low price PDF to get it without all the ads. So that's what I did for mine. But this is a super easy project. You don't really have to think about it. I was picking my dad up at the airport with my mom this last week, and I was able to knit this while we navigated the airport and all those kinds of things. So super, super easy about that. And then I thought I would put a pause, and I forgot to mention my stitchy kindness that I'm wearing. My amazing friend, the Seattle Stitcher, is a knitter as well, and she knit me this awesome beanie and sent it my way. And so this is how I'm summoning fall today, with this really, really cool, I mean, her stitches are perfect. The yarn is so squishy, and she sent me a bucket of yarn to go with it, aside from these 4. So I ordered some sweater quantities of these 4 yarns on her recommendation, on these 2 yarns in mohair and regular. I'm going to be knitting a sweater for myself out of this color and a sweater for my mom out of this color, so those came in. But Megan sent me all of the rest of this because she knows I'm getting back into knitting, and she's amazing. So she sent me this, which is what my hat is made out of, so that I can kind of darn it if I ever need to, and a whole full other skein of it. This is my absolute favorite thing she sent. It's this gorgeous blue color fingering weight, so I think I'm gonna try and knit like a little t-shirt or something out of that. She sent some more of the Knitting for Olive yarns and a few other colors. This gorgeous variegated worsted weight, this really cool material, I don't even know what you make out of that, and this amazingly gorgeous hedgehog fibers yarn, as well as some fabric and things. And so thank you, Megan. I super, super appreciated it. Like, made my whole day coming home and seeing that. So yes, lots of yarn on the horizon for my sweaters. I've never knit a sweater before, so it's gonna be an adventure, and I'm going to try and get it done. And then as far as the other knitting stuff I worked on my other knitting project. I only have 2 on the go right now. This is the Mela Cowl by Valerie Hobbs, and I love how this is coming out. I'm getting fairly close to being finished with this. So I put a lifeline in on this project pretty close to after I showed it to you. And so the blue about here is where I was before when I filmed last. So this is using my local yarn store's house dye, which is West 7th Wool Sport Weight. And I am doing the color Nevermore, which is this gorgeous brown, gray, black. Very tonal. You can start to see, you can see all the lace patterns there, but I got all of that done since I've seen you last. And I believe I only have one more pattern repeat and I'm finished. So this little cowl's coming together. I think you're really not going to be able to see much of it until it's blocked because of how dark the yarn is. But the laces are there. I'm not really messing it up, and it's been really fun to work with a nicer yarn that isn't partially acrylic. Now the only thing that's kind of odd is that the pattern side is on the inside. I'm knitting this in the round, and so the pattern side is on the inside. I don't know if that's strange or not, but this is the wrong side if you're curious. But yeah, so I've gotten quite a bit done on that. I've got about a third of it left, and it'll be done, and I can block it and wear it and take some cool pictures with it on. Kind of show you guys the details because it's kind of hard to see those while it's still on the needles, but that was my only other knitting project. Okay, so plans-wise, for the next few weeks, I did want to tell you about a new stitch along that I'm going to be hosting with Heather, the 20-minute stitcher, and I think Alexis, my amazing world, and the Seattle stitcher are going to join in as well. It is going to be the Spooky Quaker Sal, just one S on Sal. I know Summer Quaker's Sal had two S's. This is just one. And it is going to be we're going to be stitching Halloween Quakers by Lila's Studio on September 3rd is when we're going to start. So if you'd love to join us, we would love to have you, or if you've already started this whip, pull it back out on the 3rd. But we're not going to be doing any hard stitching plans for this one. It's going to be more of a start along because that's just better for both of our mental health at this point. But it's going to be really fun. I know this is a really, really popular Halloween piece, so I'm going to be really excited to get it on my Q-snap. So that's coming up on September 3rd, Spooky Quaker Sal. Halloween Quakers, or Quaker singular. And then Dark Queen of the Earth is coming out, and I've signed up for that. I know I probably won't be starting it on September 1st when the pattern releases because I am waiting for the Under the Sea fabric that she special dyed for the pattern. But I've got all my DMC pre-cut, and I am finishing up working on a project bag for that I got some fabric for recently. So that'll be super fun, and I can't wait for that stitch along to start. So there's that, and I need to finish Bushel and a Peck because that is one of my whips that is really, really close to a finish, as you saw in my last video. So that's it for plans. As far as book talk is concerned, I wanted to tell you guys about what I've been reading. It's been a light reading week for me for the last couple weeks because it's been a little bit busy. And I only read 2 books. They are the first 2 books in the Savage Lands series by Stacey Marie Brown. I didn't write down her name, so I think that's right. If it's not, it'll be corrected right here. But this series, I'm kind of into it, but it's a longer series, so I think I'm still kind of waiting for the full plot to really unravel and release itself. But it's kind of set in a dystopian Eastern Europe, which is interesting. So there's like a fairy side of, I don't think it's Poland. It's one of the Eastern European countries that I'm blanking on right now. But there's like half of the city is fae and half of the city is humans, and they don't like each other. And this one girl is from the human side, and she accidentally gets captured and taken to a prison on the fae side. And a whole bunch of stuff ensues, and her name is Brexley, and she's got like a weird relationship with one of the people in the prison that's kind of like, is it sexual tension? Is it not? Sort of good so far. I'd say they're probably solidly 3-star, maybe leaning toward the 4th star. I find them a little bit hard to pay attention to, but other than that, pretty good. The jury's still out. I'm waiting till I get further into the series. Like, I want to say there's like 6 or 7 books in this series, so I've only finished 2, and they're pretty short, easy to digest. I'm waiting for the full plot to really unveil itself, because right now we're still in like the setting up, you getting to know Brexley and getting to know like her situation and the world building, and it's like a Kingdom of Ash situation where, you know, you've got a lot of character building happening in the beginning and then you get the big plot line. Throne of Glass. Sorry, not Kingdom of Ash. That's the last book in the Throne of Glass series. Anyway, jury's still out, but I'm not minding it too bad so far. So that's all I've been reading. I really need to get back to finishing Guild, the Guild series by Raven Kennedy, and I'm gonna be finishing These Twisted Bonds, which is part of the... I'll insert a picture of the cover here. Anyway, it's a book by Lexi Ryan, and I read the first book a while ago, and I'm rereading it now so that I can finish out the series, because she released the second book, and I heard mixed things about it, but I'm going to finish it. So anyway, excuse me. I'm sorry. I think that's everything that I have to share with you today. We've done books, we've done haul, we've done cross stitch, we've done yarn, all of the things. I'm going to be sewing some more and cross stitching some more and doing all of those sorts of things. I do think that Alexis and Megan and Julie and I are going to be hosting more lives or Zooms in the future. It was really fun to get to kind of connect with you guys. And yeah, it was a good time. So thank you guys for joining, for supporting the channel. I did check today and I'm about less than 100 subscribers away from 3,000, which is absolutely nuts. So if you haven't subscribed yet, please consider subscribing. I'm having one of my brother's friends design a logo for my channel and some kind of more art for my YouTube channel, which is going to be really, really cool. So stick around to check that out. You won't have to see my crappy Canva designs anymore. But yeah, so I hope you guys have a really, really great 2 weeks. I will see you on my next one when that rolls around. And I hope that you have the best autumn available to you, in the words of my favorite Abby, Top Knot Stitcher. So I know it's not autumn yet. It's 100 degrees outside in Texas, but what you gonna do? So happy stitching, you guys. I'll see you in my next one. Bye.